And I mean, he is not a smart man. He's a dumb man. This is one of the biggest criminal justice systems in the country, LA County. We should have a DA, whatever their philosophy is, he should be super, super bright and deeply, deeply knowledgeable about the law. And I don't get the impression this guy is. This guy's a pure politician. All right, Victor is a combo politician, legit prosecutor.
Right.
Yeah,
We are
pure political.
We are so late,
I know.
and it's
That's
your
how much I hate
fault.
him.
And it's your fault, and I'm going to get the grief for it. Alex, you talk to him. Coming up, the U.S. economy. It's in trouble. Boy, is it running the world right now to an extent we haven't seen, well, since probably World War II. Or after World War II. KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Christmas in Southern California. Festive holiday bike shorts, ice cream trucks playing jingle bells, and stimulating talk.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
New plan for healthcare workers. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Healthcare workers in California will be required to get a COVID-19 vaccine booster shot. Governor Newsom is planning to give more details this Wednesday about it. All healthcare workers in the state had to be vaccinated against COVID-19 by September. News is brought to you by Rooter Hero. Officials in Rialto are applauding a police officer who wheeled a heart attack patient out of a medical care facility because two paramedics refused to go inside.
The police officer that went in exhibited courage and was very brave to go in and assist the staff of the facility and the patient.
Rialto Mayor Pro Tem Ed Scott says city officials are upset about what happened last month. The paramedics cited a COVID-19 law as to why they needed the patient to be wheeled outside. Scott says he and his colleague are unaware of a law that would keep paramedics from going inside. The paramedics are on leave. LA will not have to pay firefighters who've been placed on leave for refusing to take the COVID-19 vaccine. The ruling was in response to a lawsuit brought on by a nonprofit organization representing 105 LA City firefighters who are trying to block the city's vaccine mandate. Forecasters say recent storms and upcoming rain and snow could help California's short-term drought and turn hillsides green.
National Weather Service meteorologist Mark Jackson says, however, it's hard to say if there will be enough rain and snow throughout the winter to help with the state's long-term drought, the drought that impacts reservoir and river levels.
When you look at January, February, March, the outlook is still for drier than normal conditions from the south and then wetter than normal as you go farther north.
He says experts hope the wet pattern from December continues in those months and goes against the outlook. Officials say about 80% of the state is under an extreme drought. Blake Trolley, KFI News.
And forecasters say Southern California is going to have a wet Christmas. The National Weather Service predicts a storm system will bring rain to the area starting mostly tomorrow. That storm will exit the area Friday. Then a weaker storm will come in with some rain on Christmas Day. The LA County Health Department has put out an ocean water use warning for Mother's Beach in Marina del Rey. The health department says people should be careful of swimming, surfing, and playing in the ocean because of higher than normal bacteria levels. Department of Homeland Security agents detained 18 people in Newport Beach suspected of entering the country illegally on a boat. Police say the boat was disguised as a fishing boat. Border Patrol agents say the vessel was so overloaded it was almost sinking. And a man's been sentenced to 3 years in prison for making threats to dozens of people who said former President Trump lost the 2020 election. In a letter to the brother of a congressman from the Bay Area, it was written, "We are armed and near your house." Let's take a look at your drive now with Jeff on the 170.
You betcha. 170 San Fernando Valley. It's kind of slow coming down from Burbank Boulevard. There was a problem. Well, actually, there still is. It's the right shoulder of the South 170 Riverside Drive off-ramp, that construction zone that's been going on since the beginning of time, it seems. But that's what it's all about. Northbound 170 looking good. Except for, I did notice there's some unusual driving going on, some swerving going on. North 170, right at Magnolia, not far from the interchange. Might be some large debris there. I've noticed people getting out of that right lane real quick, so be careful going through. Again, that's northbound 170 at Magnolia. Now up to the South 405, never ceases to amaze me here, but it looks like there was a problem on the South 405 north off off ramp. That's real slow, backing up onto the freeway. But after that, it's in pretty good shape, really, for this morning drive. Pretty easy drive. Everybody's still moving through the Ventura Freeway up and over the hill into West LA. And the West 210, we'll update that in just a little while. I'll go back there, but it's been only the 2 right lanes open at Santa Anita, West 210 Santa Anita, back up through the 605. It's a real struggle getting through it. So when you use the West 10, that's in pretty good shape. Injured in an accident, visit superwomansuperlawyer.com. Jeff Bond, KFI in the sky.
For only the 4th time since 1948, there was NFL football on a Tuesday as the Rams played the Seattle Seahawks at SoFi Stadium. Wide receiver Cooper Kupp set a couple of franchise records.
Breaking out. End zone throw. They can't take him away. Touchdown Rams. Cooper Kupp. And he sets the Ram record. And 90 or more receiving yards in 10 straight games, which is an NFL record.
And that catch was also Kupp's record-setting 120th of the season. Final score, LA 20, Seattle 10. I'm Wayne Resnick, KFI Sports.
The Life Source Whole House Water Filtration System, and believe me, I know all about it because I've had one for years, provides filtered, delicious, obviously very safe water from every single faucet in your home. Bathtub, kitchen sink, of course, bathroom sinks, and that's kind of neat. But let me tell you what it does, and which I really like about it. Reduces hard water problems, scale buildup, filters out chlorine, added chemicals from your water. It's effectively bottled water quality. And imagine doing your clothes, your dishes, you bathe in this water, like bottled water. Who would do that? That's what happens effectively without Life Source Whole House Water Filtration System. And they simply make quality water easy. No filters to change. I mean, once they're done, they're done. And they're having an end-of-the-year sale going on now through the end of the year. Call for the best offer of the year or contact them. Call 800-334-5009, 800-334-5009. Visit LifeSourceWater.com. LifeSource Water, taste and feel the difference.
The holiday season calls for tamales, with fresh ingredients from Silverados markets. Gather the family round the table for a cup of champurrado. It's help mom, abuelita, and tia prepare warm tamales with quality meats, chilies, cheeses, and masa. And even if you add a bit too much masa, abuelita won't mind, because memories, laughter, and a few dozen tamales are waiting to be made. Silverados markets, celebrating generations of traditions.
Your KFI Financial Report is brought to you by Bay Alarm. The Dow is up 162, S&P up 28, NASDAQ up 94, and the average price of a gallon of unleaded gas in California is $4.66.
With a range of commercial fire and security solutions, Bay Alarm can protect it all with just one call.
It's a mostly cloudy day ahead. Chance of rain this afternoon, but a much better chance of rain starts tomorrow. Right now it's 43 in Laguna Beach, 49 in Altadena, 47 in Santa Clarita. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
KFI AM 640. Bill Handel here. It is a Wednesday morning, December 22. And some good news, if you like cornflakes, the workers that were on strike at Kellogg's for over 2 months have accepted a new contract in which the workers certainly won on this one, and that's part of the news I want to share with you. Now, a little bit of history, and that is after World War II, the U.S. economy dominated the world. I mean, we produced actually over 50% of the production of things, cars, refrigerators, manufacturing of any kind, than the entire of Europe did, the entire rest of the world did. And so we controlled the economy then, after World War II. And let's go fast forward to a point where Europe was on the rise and the United States was going down, was on the decline, and that has been for several years, a couple of decades ago. Well, we're back. And here's what's going on. Our economy is booming. I mean, for the most part, manufacturers can't keep or manufacture enough. I mean, everything flies off the shelves. And that is rippling around the world. And what it's done is, well, primarily the global supply chain is because of us. And that keeps prices going up, and manufacturers keep struggling, and you've got the communications people, they can't get enough equipment. The car companies, boy, do I have a car story for you. I'm looking for a car. My lease was up. I ended up buying the car. And I was talking to the salesperson I bought the car from, and I said, okay, I happen to have a Beamer. I've been driving one for, I don't know, 15 years already. And I said, I want to look for an electric car. And she said, we don't even have an electric car. We have a hybrid car, and it's a great one. It's not ready till March. Wow, really? And by the way, the cars now, these are high-end cars. Some of them have manual seats that go back and forth. On a $60,000 car, they can't get the parts. They can't get the chips. And that is what's going on. So U.S. economic output is about to expand at 7%, which is a very hot economy in the final 3 months of the year. Europe, about 2%. So U.S. ports are processing about a fifth more container volume than they did in 2019. The busiest U.S. container ports are ahead of their counterparts in Asia and Europe in global rankings as volumes surge, and that is a real issue because our ports, Long Beach and the Port of L.A., is almost down at the bottom of the barrel in terms of technology and ability to transport those containers or take them off the ship and put them into warehousing and put them on the trucks. And so we're at the bottom of that, yet at the top of the actual volume. I mean, that's really crazy. What's happening in Europe, durable goods consumption has gone up, but nothing like in the United States. The consumption of these durable goods, we're talking about refrigerators and freezers and dishwashers and TVs, etc., have surged 45% above the 2018 levels in the U.S. 45% in the U.S., 2% in the Eurozone. We are once again dominating the U.S. or dominating the world economy. I mean, the engine that runs the world economy is also happening to us again. And we're going to have inflation. We do already, which means the Feds are going to have to raise interest rates. That's affecting everybody because it wouldn't happen. Their growth or their lack of growth wouldn't happen. And so it's become completely crazy. As a matter of fact, U.S. consumers have a lot more purchasing power, and Europe could be in a stagflationary scenario. Remember when we were stagflation? It was crazy under Carter. Prices were going through the roof, and at the same time, the economy, inflation's going crazy, and the economy was in the doldrums. That's stagflation, and that's the worst place you can be. So we're looking at the economy growing 6% this year, 4 or more in 2022, the highest in decades. And we're going to have unemployment rate is going to be the lowest in almost 7 decades, according to Deutsche Bank. Now, with that happening, U.S. wages are expected to grow by about 4% a year. It's not going to get near what the actual profits are of companies. Wages are always way behind. And so you hear conservative lawmakers and the conservative economists saying, but look at wages, they've gone up. They always leave out nothing compared to corporate profits, nothing compared to things like the trucking industry. No, inflation outweighs all of that. And so workers are, even though they've got more money, it still doesn't keep up. And workers get screwed no matter what. So the Fed is being assertive. It's going to raise interest rates at least 3 times next year. That pushes up the value of the U.S. dollar, and you have central banks all suffering because of it. So business is pouring into the United States, and here's what a lot of companies are doing. They're setting up, foreign companies are setting up in the United States just to be closer to the best market in the world, American consumers. And they want to avoid putting their goods on ships and supply chain problems. It's going to be easier for them. They think, and it probably is going to be true, that if you are manufacturing 10 miles down the road, it's a whole lot better than manufacturing in a foreign country overseas and trying to ship your products. So the U.S., once again, is the engine of the global economy. Hey, welcome to America. We just know how to do it right. You know, it's rough to be poor, like I said, but probably the best place in the world to do business. And we have a galloping commerce system, a galloping capitalistic system, which certainly seems to work for us, not so much for other people. Coming up, why Christmas gifts are actually arriving on time this year, even with the increase of purchases. I'll tell you what, it's all happening on time. There are a bunch of reasons, and I'll share that with you. This is KFI AM 640, and let's check in with Jennifer.
Jurors in the sex trafficking trial of Ghislaine Maxwell have one more day to reach a verdict before Christmas. She's accused of helping the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein recruit and abuse girls. Former President Trump says he was very appreciative and surprised by President Biden's public praise for the Trump administration's rapid development of the COVID-19 vaccines. And SpaceX is bringing Christmas gifts and holiday meals to the crew at the International Space Station. NASA says the cargo Dragon docked with the ISS this morning, about 260 miles over the Pacific. We've got your drive on the 170 again with BKFI in the sky next.
Wealth isn't simply about money. It's more than just the numbers in your portfolio or your bank account. Wealth is all the everyday things that money enables you to do, the goals you're after, things you want to accomplish, and the life you want to lead. So how do you get there? Starting the weekend of January 1st, listen to Everyday Wealth with Soledad O'Brien and Gene Chapman, presented by Edelman Financial Engines. Each week, award-winning journalist Soledad O'Brien and personal finance expert Gene Chapman will explore how our financial decisions shape our everyday lives. They'll be joined by Edelman Financial Engine's wealth planners and other guests to demystify challenges like tax-efficient investing, retirement planning, and more. They'll share knowledge and tools to manage your finances today and build wealth for tomorrow. Join the conversation. Everyday Wealth airs each weekend and will be available on major podcast platforms. For airtimes, visit everydaywealth.com.
Settlement alert, $8.5 million for motorcyclists suffering severe injury to legs.
Attorney Robert Koenig, Esquire. Results may vary. No guarantee. Automobile failed to yield in daytime accident.
SoCal weather from KFI. A mostly cloudy day ahead. There's a slight chance of showers later tonight, but a much better chance tomorrow. Highs will be in the 50s and 60s. This report is brought to you by iaccidentlawyer.com. Let's look at that drive on the 170 again.
Betcha. Well, if you're on the southbound I-5, as a matter of fact, you can choose the 170 from the split. Last report, I was talking about an earlier problem, southbound 170 at the Riverside Drive off-ramp to the shoulder, but now a new crash just occurred just a few moments ago. 4, 5, 6 drivers that all tangled together. Might be a motorcyclist now. Maybe they're trying to help. Bottom line, south 170 right to 134. The carpool lane is blocked. Anything on that side of the freeway is going to require more lanes to be shut down. So, bottom line now, it's really backing up quite solid from before Burbank Boulevard. After that, if you go south 101 going past, it's still in pretty good shape. South 5, definitely slow going down towards Hollywood Way. After that, it'll improve. South 405 across the valley, not too bad. A little slow to Nordoff, but after that, a very easy drop into West LA. And we're flying east right now, trying to get back out to around Santa Anita. Long plane problem, westbound 210 around Santa Anita Baldwin. Only a couple of lanes back are open with a backup through the 605. I'll update that for you in just a couple of minutes. We'll be out there. Injured in accident, visit Superwoman, superlawyer.com. Jeff Barr, KFI in the sky.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
Dell Technologies' end-of-year sale is the perfect time to upgrade. Save big on computers featuring Windows 11 Pro that easily automate workflows, all with free shipping. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Living with someone who tested positive for COVID-19 in the past 5 days? Those 18 and over who are not vaccinated may be able to take part in a clinical trial for a possible medication to prevent COVID-19. This trial is not for a vaccine, and participation is voluntary. Participants will receive study-related care at no cost and may receive reimbursement for study-related time and travel. To learn more, call 844-461-1936. That's 844-461-1936. Sponsored by Merck.
If holiday music turns your joy all the way up to 10, then SiriusXM is your home for the holidays. From traditional and country to pop, soul, and so much more, SiriusXM has exclusive holiday channels dedicated to the music that makes your season bright. Listen in the car on the way to the party, or in the living room as you're wrapping presents. Visit SiriusXM.com/listenholiday for how to start listening.
This has been another year of change, but what hasn't changed is the need for life-saving care at Children's Hospital Los Angeles. CHLA saves lives, but they need your life-saving support. Your donations provide world-class care and life-changing research for critically ill kids. Please, give generously. Call 800-670-CHLA or visit donatechla.org to make your year-end donations.
The holidays are the most wonderful time of the year, but they can also be the most stressful. And with the threat of COVID-19 still looming, emotions are high and can be overwhelming. Cal hopes can help with free emotional support for you and your loved ones this holiday season. Call 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhopes.org today.
Ghetto Air Conditioning is contractor license number 1047781.
This is Ken Goodrich of Ghetto Air Conditioning and Plumbing.
You've already heard the story of how my dad asked me to hold the flashlight for him at night while he worked on air conditioners. Dad knew he was dying, but I didn't. You know the story. Anyway, one of the things Dad would have me do is replace all the screws the previous repair guys left out when they reassembled the unit. My job was to find every missing screw and replace it with a brand new one. I still do that today, and so do all my guys. When motors are whirring, compressors are compressing, and electrical contacts are doing their thing, those non-stop vibrations caused by missing screws will cause your system to die long before it's time. That's why we tied your unit down to factory-fresh condition on every service call. My guys are perfectionists. No squeaks, rattles, or hums. And don't forget our awesome duct testers. Ghetto. GOETTL. It'll keep you cool, but it's hard to spell. Call us.
With the holidays right around the corner, don't let rising prices get you down. Stop by your local grocery outlet and save big on all your holiday needs, including last-minute gifts like apparel, toys, and slippers.
Wondering when's the best time to get your Real ID? How about right now? Starting May 3rd, 2023, you'll need a federally accepted form of identification, like a Real ID, to fly within the United States and visit military bases. And it's easier than ever to get one. Get your Real ID by setting your application online, uploading the correct documents, and making your appointment at the DMV to finish the process. There's no need to wait. Think of us. Visit CaliforniaRealID.org today.
This December, we work all day hard to protect ourselves and loved ones from COVID-19. Getting vaccinated gives you the greatest protection against severe illness and death. And for the first time, everyone in the family is eligible for the vaccine. If you are already fully vaccinated, get your booster to keep your immunity strong. Keeping each other safer is simple. Get vaccinated. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find a vaccination location near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
He shot an 81-year-old woman in her home in the middle of the night.
Yes,
He failed to tell us he should have gotten no help.
Intervention?
Am 640 handle here. It is a Wednesday morning, December 22. Coming up at 9:30, Handle and the House Whisperer as the end Wednesday. And it's all about leaving home with complete confidence, even in this day and age of increased burglars, break-ins, and all kinds of crazy stuff. Now, deliveries started early this fall. Shop early, or you're not going to get your gifts on time. And so that was right there at top of mind. I mean, delivery supply chain problems with long delays in manufacturing and shipping. And that ripples outward, and that slows package deliveries. And so the experts will shop early, or even to a touching point in the conservative tax against their budget. I mean, when he said that, they would say, you see, he is screwing up. You're not going to be able to get your Christmas present. President Scrooge, look what he's doing. So we've got early fears, and here's what happens. Holiday shoppers have received their gifts mainly on time. And there are a couple reasons. First of all, consumers help themselves by paying attention, shopping early, and shopping in person. And retailers knew this was happening. We knew what was going to happen in terms of the difficulties that...
Take command of the road in the 2015 Acura MDX.
So what the retailers did is...
Under the hood, you'll find a powerful 3.5-liter V6 engine capable of pumping out 290 horsepower.
Now, this is not manufacturers who needed this.
Acura perfected each and every component on the exterior surface. Alloy wheels sit inside the fenders, yielding an attractive, well-proportioned stance. A power rear lift gate simplifies cargo loading.
The fit and finish of the interior is superb. Luxury speaks for itself. Acura infused the interior with top-shelf amenities such as a power seat, lane departure warning, and a blind spot monitoring system. With second and third row seating, the 2015 Acura MDX has ample space to comfortably fit up to 6 passengers. Steer clear of gridlock with the optional Acura Link navigation with real-time traffic. Optional driver assistance technology like the parking sensors, blind spot information system, and standard multi-view rear camera makes driving the 2015 Acura MDX a breeze.
Available all-wheel drive, performance braking, triple sealed doors and tailgate, and sound-absorbing acoustic glass offer an exceptionally smooth and quiet ride. Multi-view rear camera and dual LED headlights ensure clear vision in any environment and comes standard in the 2015 Acura MDX.
The 2015 Acura MDX. Injecting sophistication and finesse into the full-size SUV segment.
Is not only anticipating what was happening, planning in advance, but are building out warehousing, building out their systems of delivery just exponentially. Consumers have done their part. Why? Because we shopped early. Put those together, you get great results. For UPS and FedEx, these figures, we're talking about online shop and delivery, 4.6 days for UPS, more than 5 days, a little more than 5 days for the Postal Service. That's an improvement of about 40% over last year at this time. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And with all that, and the problems we have, and the fact that sales have gone up during this Christmas, certainly over last year, that means that a lot of planning between retailers and customers and delivery services, put that all together, what do you have? And when I talk about not the retailers, yeah, it actually is. Retailers and customers, consumers shopping way